Uncle. And we are fresh off a wild last day of trades. The trade deadline was last night, and we've got a lot to talk about. Let's start with the Mariners. They got a first baseman and a third baseman that hit with power, Suarez and Naylor, right? So they're really in the thick of it in the American League now, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. The Phillies got Duran and Bader. That picks up their bullpen. And the Mets and Yankees remade their bullpen. The Yankees got Bednar, Doval, and Bird. And they also got Ryan McMahon to play third base. So that was a really good trade deadline for the Yankees. And the Mets got Helsley, Rogers, and Soto. And they got Mullins to play center field. So they both rebuilt their bullpens, essentially. And the Padres, that A.J. Preller, man, I don't know what he's doing, but he got Mason Miller, O'Hearn, and Laureano, and a host of others. Cortez, they got Cortez, the old Yankee. So let's go. You start. What do you think?
Let's start with what people would consider
Mets.
as the blockbuster deal with the Padres, right? Mason Miller, probably the biggest name that got moved.
Yeah.
This weekend or this week, and Mason Miller and J.P. Sears are going to San Diego for a package including 4 prospects, including the number 3 prospect in baseball, Leo Dallas DeVries, switch
20-year-old kid, right?
20-year-old switch hitting shortstop.
Yeah.
I've known him for a little while now, not personally, just as a prospect, obviously, but I wouldn't have given him up if I were the Padres. And look, that's going to help Oakland or Sacramento, whatever they are, whatever city the A's identify from right now.
Well, they're going to be Las Vegas
That's going to help them
soon.
out. Vegas, yeah. But they have Jacob Wilson at shortstop. Leo Dallas probably going to move to second or third, maybe even outfield spot. But he's an athlete. He's a ball player, and he's going to be there within a couple of years. He's going to be a star.
Yeah, I mean, look, Preller, he gets a lot of credit. He does a lot of big deals, and they say, "Oh, look what the Padres did." But look at that Juan Soto deal with the Nationals. Yeah. He gave up James Wood, who's a star, 20-year-old star. C.J. Abrams, all-star shortstop. Mackenzie Gore, a solid left-hand starter, a young kid.
All-star this year.
Yeah, and they've got 2 other pieces in there, and that was for a year and a half for Soto. So, you know, he makes these big deals, makes these big splashes, get these headlines, but he gives up a lot. And you look at a deal, you don't look at it, well, what's it worth today? Look at it in 2-3 years, and then you can judge the deal. So what do you think about the Phillies?
Phillies, I don't like them. You know that. You know that. And it hurts me because obviously Harrison Bader went there, and Harrison Bader was one of my favorite players from the 2024 Mets, you know. Some of the players, him, Jose Iglesias, have a special place with me, you know, because of all the memories they made last year. But, you know, hopefully Bader's in a good spot for him. He's obviously going to help them win games. No one really better on defense, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's going to play a good center field. But Duran, you know, that's kind of the bigger name that the Phillies got. And
they needed him.
They needed a bullpen arm. They got one of the top bullpen arms in the game, one of the top that were available, at least.
Yeah. No, absolutely. They probably needed more bullpen arms, but that's a big get for them.
Yeah.
That's a big get. And I got to say this, and I'm not a big fan of Brian Cashman. I think he should have lost his job years ago, but he did a really good job. They rebuilt the bullpen. They got a third baseman. They got a center fielder. They got that kid from Tampa yesterday. Yeah, who's got like 30-something stolen bases. The kid's got speed. And he did a good job. He didn't give up a lot. I don't think. So I got to give him credit. Stearns I got to give credit to, but I always like Stearns. You know, Stearns a good GM. And it appears that Uncle Stevie's giving him free reign on what to do with the team. So what else? I'm really liking those Mariners. You know, they needed hitting. They got great pitching. They needed hitting, and they got 2 really good hitters, in Naylor and Suarez, right?
Yeah, the Mariners starting pitching, their rotation is arguably the best in baseball.
Well, it's
They're
in the
really-
conversation.
They're really good. You know, Brian Wu, all those guys. You're gonna
Yeah.
get quality starts from them day in and day out.
Right.
Let's go back to the Mets for a minute. I thought they had a really, really good deadline. I'd give it a B plus, A minus maybe. I wish they could have gotten one more bat, but
They needed a bat. You're
But
right about that.
they got a lot of value without giving up too much. They only lost 2 of their top 10 prospects, none in the top 5. And they get a guy like Cedric Mullins, who, like you said, is going to play a fantastic center field. And having it would look as a down year, but he has an OPS plus at 105 right now, which means he's a slightly above average
Right,
hitter
right.
this year. But there's a guy who's won a Silver Slugger before back in 2021. Now, look, we're 4 years removed from that. I don't
Yeah.
expect him to be that guy
That's a lifetime.
this year. But, you know, if he could hit average, slightly above league average, and play a really good center field, I think it's an upgrade.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I like them. I like what the Mets did. I like what the Yankees did. I like what the Mariners did. The Phillies, I think the Phillies could have used another bullpen piece, to be honest. And the Padres, who knows? I don't know. You know, as hard as Mason Miller throws, his ERA was over 3.
Down year.
He's giving up runs. So, you know, it's not all about speed. It's not all about the gun. You got to have command. You got to have a second pitch. You got to have control over that as well. You know, there are guys who light up the gun who never make the majors because they can't get it over the plate. So that's it. So you still like your New York Mets?
I do. I mean, look, it's going to be neck and neck with Philly, I think, the whole
Yeah.
year. It could go either way. You know, I'm hopeful the Mets will win, but I think both of those teams are playoff teams. And
Okay.
I think the 6 teams in the playoff picture right now in the National League are going to be the teams you have at the end of the year.
I think, yeah. Look, in the beginning of the year, I picked the Phillies, Milwaukee, and the Dodgers. I think you picked the Mets, the Cubs, and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And we're both in it.
Yeah, Cubs and Brewers only separated by 1 game right now.
Those Brewers are good. I know they didn't do anything. I don't think they had to do anything. They got pitching. They got timely hitting. They got a bullpen that's a beast.
Yeah.
That McGill kid is really good, man. So yeah, there you have it. You got anything else?
Pretty active deadline. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of smaller moves, obviously. It's impossible to cover all of them.
Oh,
right
there were a
now,
lot
but
of moves, man.
I was watching a live stream yesterday of just all the moves. It was one of my favorite content creators. He was live streaming on YouTube just with Twitter up, you know, Jeff Passan,
Yeah.
all of them just like refreshing. And up until about 6:15 yesterday, you know, move after move on. It was
I was watching
lot.
the
Pretty
MLB
active deadline.
station for the last 2 hours, and it was bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
and then 6 o'clock, and you still get some bangs because the deals were in, they just weren't approved yet.
yep.
It was a great deadline. Interesting to see how these new players and new locations will fare. And that's about it. I'm the uncle.
Carbuncle.
See you next time.